Hi guys, I'm Leo, and welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and let's talk about CM Punk. So CM Punk's return to WWE, I'm not going to go into what happened or anything, because by now, everybody has seen what's happened if you're a wrestling fan. I kind of just wanted to give my perspective on it, and what I think is going to happen, how I think it's going to affect WWE and other superstars within WWE, and all that kind of other stuff. I have the point I kind of want to hit. If I don't hit them, it's fine. I'm rambling. It's a bit like the Britt Baker video, pretty much. But yeah, I think for me, or in my opinion, Punk's return was probably one of the biggest WWE moments of all time. And it's something that no one, I don't think, ever thought was going to happen. And yeah, everyone, I think, would agree with me in saying that. But for me, what I like about this more is the fact that it's a huge move in just the wrestling industry. Like, you know how Logan Paul winning the US title or Bad Bunny coming in for Backlash was a big deal in the mainstream, similar to when Floyd Mayweather faced the Big Show and all this other stuff. And it was for the mainstream, and therefore it made sense. But pro wrestling fans weren't massively bothered. Obviously, Bad Bunny and Logan Paul are obviously mainstays now because of what they've done. But it's something that okay, it's cool. It gets people watching for the casual fans. Whereas Punk coming back in feels like it's more for the wrestling fan, for the people who've been watching all the time, kind of thing. Not for the casual people at all. Which I think is a really cool move from WWE, and it's something that we don't really get very often. I can't remember the last time they really, apart from maybe AJ Styles, where they brought in somebody because the wrestling fans wanted him, not just because it was a casual fans thing. There was a legend coming back. But of course, with that comes the big ego of CM Punk, which obviously was a main issue in AEW with politicking. Obviously, we heard that he was banning people backstage from Collision and all stuff like that. But I honestly can't see him doing that kind of thing here. He might try, but Triple H will just shut him down almost immediately. I expect anyway, just because they are not afraid to fire him. It did feel like at points that Tony Khan would be afraid to fire CM Punk. I know he did it in the end, but I don't think there'll be any hesitation from Triple H or Vince McMahon or TK, whoever is in charge of firing people. I don't think they'll hesitate once to get rid of Punk if he starts causing some major issues. So I think backstage fights is something we don't really have to worry about. I know that obviously stuff has been said online since, Drew McIntyre storming off, Seth Rollins kicking off since then, but I think the Rollins thing is a work. I feel like it's just going to be part of a storyline heading into WrestleMania. And the Drew McIntyre thing, I have no idea, but we heard from, again, reports that CM Punk wanted to meet with the Young Bucks and Kenny after the whole all-out, brawl-out stuff. And it was Kenny and the Bucks who said, oh, we'll give you 6 months. So nothing happens, we'll meet with you. So clearly Punk is wanting to build bridges after these kind of things, and then there's nothing wrong. I can't see anything here that would suggest that Punk wouldn't try and meet with Rollins or meet with Reigns or meet with McIntyre and squash whatever issues there are, or at least get to a civil point. We know that Cody and Seth don't get along. I don't know whether it's just a storyline thing, but if it's not, I'm sure they met before the Mania match, or at least after it, and squashed any of that kind of thing. But either way, it's I can see Punk being more mature about stuff in WWE rather than in AEW, because he won't have that creative involvement that he had in AEW. And it's one of the things that Cody has said that he actually enjoys more about being in WWE is the fact that he's not involved in creative, therefore there's not that pressure on it and stuff like that. So I think it could help Punk here as well. And then, I don't know, I feel I can't imagine it's a contract thing, but with Punk coming back, you have to think the main event of WrestleMania is on the cards for him. 100% is one of the things he said he genuinely wanted to do. I think winning a Rumble, I honestly think he's winning this year's Rumble. My original guess was going to be Gunther to win the Rumble, and I'll get on to later on. But CM Punk will main event at WrestleMania during this run. I can see it already. I would put my flat on to guess siren. But yeah, I put my flat on the line to say that Punk's going to main event at WrestleMania in the next couple of years, if not at the next WrestleMania. Just because it's one of the main things he said he wanted out of WWE, out of his run. He should have main evented WrestleMania with Chris Jericho, WrestleMania 28, but they did Brock and Cena instead. But yeah, it does mean that people's pushes may be put on the back push for now. Like people like LA Knight, Gunther, I'd probably see Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre might find themselves staying where they are currently a bit longer while we get Punk back into stuff. But you could say the same if he hadn't returned and it was just Randy Orton. Like if Randy Orton's going to wrestle for another 10 years, there's no reason why he can't go on to beat Ric Flair's 17-time world title record. I'm not saying Punk will do that, but I think with Punk and Randy coming back, people's pushes may be put on the back line for a bit. So people can't just blame Punk for not being pushed, because I feel like it might be a Randy Orton thing as well. Randy Orton does have beef with Roman Reigns as well, so it makes sense to go that route. Whereas it makes sense for Punk, Rollins, rather than Reigns, but he can have a few later on next year at WrestleMania. But yeah, especially with 2 nights of WrestleMania, it makes more sense that Punk would main event one of those. He would probably prefer night 2 as it's the proper main event, but he still gets a main event under his name, legacy, whatever you want to say, even if it's night 1. So either way, I feel like he's guaranteed a main event at WrestleMania, which is what he wanted. But yeah, I can see a lot of positives coming from this, not just from a money perspective, but from like people who maybe fallen off watching WWE coming back again and seeing that it actually isn't so bad anymore. Like, I'm not saying people haven't watched WWE since 2014 when he left, but there are people probably since 2021, sorry, when Punk came back to AEW, who only watched AEW for CM Punk, and then they might come and tread the water with WWE and realise that actually it's improved massively over the last year, 2 years, and they might start watching regularly again, which is really good. And I feel like that's one of the things that will definitely would have been considered back. And yes, yeah, all the business from it, the merch, everything like that will make more sense. But I'm not really bothered about the money side of things. More bothered about the in-ring character wrestling, everything like that. And it's just, I can see Punk having better matches in WWE than he was AEW. Like, I'd say my favourite Punk match from AEW was his dog collar match with MJF at Revolution last year, before. But for me, he has wrestled WWE style for a lot longer, and I know he was doing Ring of Honor stuff beforehand, but I feel like it suits him better to be wrestling the sports entertainment way rather than the pro wrestling way. You know, his matches with Hangman weren't very good. You know, falling on his arse, trying to mimic Hangman and stuff like that. He looked like an idiot. Whereas here, you know, with the help of Rollins and Reigns, all these great athletes in WWE, I think he'll fit in better here. Like, and I'm not saying that the people in WWE are better than AEW. It's just a different style of wrestling. You know, there's AEW style, which is pro wrestling, and then the WWE style, which is sports entertainment. And Punk fits that really well. Like, Punk was pushing a kind of edgier product when WWE was at the height of the PG era, and now kind of PG's fallen off a little bit, and like it does feel a lot more edgy now. So Punk will fit that really well, and I think, like, as I said, I can't see any negatives coming from this move other than the potential of Punk causing issues backstage and stuff like that. But other than that, I think it's very good. I was very hesitant of welcoming back into WWE. I really didn't want it in the first place, but now I've kind of seen reports online and I've read stuff and got the reaction of everybody, and I'm interested to see on Raw tonight what the reaction is going to be from Nashville, if it's going to be boos, whether it's going to be cheers and all this other stuff. But then I'm very curious to see what it's like on Raw tonight. It's why I wanted to make this video before Raw, so I had absolutely no idea what Punk's going to be doing going into the Royal Rumble season, going into WrestleMania season. Obviously, the next pay-per-view is Royal Rumble, and it's the most I'd probably say it's the most important time of the year for WWE, starting from January. So, yeah, if there was ever a time to come back, this is the perfect time to bring CM Punk back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious, I'm incredibly interested, and I'm very much looking forward to watching all this go down. I'm happy that my mind has changed about it and I don't feel as negative as I did about him coming back, and hopefully he proves my change of mind right and that he doesn't ruin it for himself by politicking like that. And yeah, I said I'm looking forward to his run, and do comment down below what you think of all the CM Punk stuff, what you think he's going to face. I'm hoping for a Punk and AJ Styles feud, Roman, Seth, like everybody else. But yeah, I said either way it's going to be great, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, but that's about it from me. I think I've hit all the bullet points I want to hit. So yeah, big comment anything down below about what you think is going to happen with Punk, because honestly, anything is possible. I think that's what this proves at the end of the day. Anything is possible when it comes to WWE, and everybody comes back eventually. But yeah, please do like the video, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Follow the Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.